Have you ever wondered what it's like to be in one of the biggest bands of 2000s, only to leave it all behind to better yourself as a musician? That is exactly what Mark Tremonti did when he left Creed. Here's why Mark Tremonti is my most admired person. By the end of my speech, you will learn how sometimes worldwide fame doesn't mean you have everything. I'm a huge Mark Tremonti fan and have listened to his music for many years. First, I will talk about Mark Tremonti and his time with Creed. Next, I will talk about his time in Alter Bridge. And finally, I'll talk about his time in his solo band, Tremonti. Before I get too wrapped up in his current work, I'd like to talk a little bit about Creed. Mark Tremonti was brought into the music world because of Creed. Creed was one of the biggest names in 2000s rock. Alongside bands like Linkin Park and Foo Fighters, Creed was rising to fame quickly, with 2 top 10 Billboard 100 songs in the year 2000. Creed won the 2001 Grammy for Best Rock Song with their song Off Human Clay, with Arms Wide Open. Mark Tremonti was a major part of Creed's fame, in my opinion. During his time with Creed, Mark co-wrote some of the arguably best songs, like Higher and With Arms Wide Open. Creed's album, Human Clay, was their highest-selling album, and Mark wrote 4 out of the 11 songs featured. While Mark mixed out on a lot of money and fame by leaving Creed, I feel like co-creating Alter Bridge was the best thing he ever did for himself. Mark Tremonti was able to develop much more with Alter Bridge. Mark Tremonti, I also feel, was happier with Alter Bridge. Back in 2004, Mark left Creed with 2 of his best friends, bassist Brian Marshall and drummer Scott Phillips. Newfound friend and lead vocalist Miles Kennedy became a good friend, and the 4 began to share a lifelong bond. Mark Tremonti became a much better guitarist with Alter Bridge. Because of conflicting ideas with Creed singer Scott Stapp, Mark was unable to experiment like he could with Alter Bridge. And Mark Tremonti and Miles Kennedy created a co-solo with their song Blackbird, and Guitarist Magazine ranked that as the greatest guitar solo of all time. While Mark was thankfully able to get more experimental with Alter Bridge, I feel like the true experiments came from his solo band, Tremonti. Mark Tremonti had a new freedom with his solo band, and he improved as a vocalist in Tremonti. Mark is the lead vocalist instead of only doing backing vocals like he did for his other 2 bands, and listening to the earlier songs compared to the new songs, you can really hear his improved vocal range. Because it was a solo band, Mark was able to write more technical riffs due to the band being more a melodic focus. And on songs like Cauterize, Tremonti wrote a more calming melody, but the melodies ranged to much more heavier and faster songs like Brains and Bringer of War. All in all, I feel Mark continuously developed as a musician throughout his career, and I feel like his work in his solo band was what really made him work his ass off to keep moving, or to keep improving. While I could talk about Mark and his accomplishments all day, I feel like it's much better to keep things short, and through his humble beginnings with Creed, to a strong bond and developmental stage with Alter Bridge, and the experimental writing with Tremonti, I can't help but be amazed by Mark's work. Overall, throughout his now 27-year professional career, I feel Mark Tremonti has developed so much as a musician, and now with Tremonti's new album, Marching in Time, that just released today, the 24th, Mark continues to wow me, and truly proves himself to be the greatest guitarist of this generation. I undoubtedly believe that he is the greatest guitarist alive, and at the very least, the greatest that is still pumping out music.